This is the second in a series on three-person positioning, and we're going to focus on the center positioning. And before I get into some of the clips here, I want to talk about what's important from being a center official. There's a couple things. Much like the trail, we have to referee on our front foot, when we're in the front court. So we want to make sure that we're engaged in any rebounding activity and we're really aggressive. The most important position in a three-person crew is that we have an aggressive center, not only in the front court but all over the court. So we have to have a strong center. We have to have a center that owns their side of the court. Okay, and this is a state quarterfinal game here. Towards the end of a game, it's a one possession game where a team's going to try to foul, to get them back on line. I think this is a 1 point game with less than a minute to go. So our center really has to be what I like to call a badass between both free throw lines. And from sideline to sideline between the free throw lines really has to be active and strong. You'll notice here on this play that Irv, the center, is going to end up calling a foul that ends up happening right over here in front of the table. Our lead, or our trail, is here, and you can see the depth that he has, and he has a potential trap match up here before the ball gets moved up the court. Our lead official is down at free throw line extended, in a good position, but probably in a tougher position to come get this play. It's really good that Irv was aggressive in this play. So as I end up forwarding it through, you'll notice that the ball gets passed here to the middle, and right there's a grab that Irv comes over and gets. You can see again, our lead, Joel, is free throw line extended. Our trail is just now coming onto the banner, not even on the court yet. So having a strong center in this play is really important and effective officiating to be able to come over and see how he comes running towards the play as well, just to be able to be there in case there's something going on. An excellent job by Irv on this play. Okay, in this play here, the very handsome Trail, who's about to be center, is does a good job here of making sure that they're aware of any screens that happen at the top of the key as the ball ends up going to the other side of the court. The reason why is we end up having a rotation. Carl rotates over, and Oscar's picking up the ball. So any screens at the top of the key, I really need to pay attention to as the center. Now I still have to pay attention to the matchups to the area that I'm going to, but if I don't pick up this screen area at the top, we could end up having a worse situation as we go through. So you can see that Carl starts rotating, and hopefully, like a rubber band, I'm in sync with him. And as he gets over, I'm a little behind here, but I'm now in a position where I know that Oscar's got a matchup here. Carl is probably going to come off this matchup and watch the paint area. I've got to be able to protect this top of the key. And you'll notice that the right foot of Black 42 steps on the defender's foot. Illegal screen's called. Again, most players don't like any of the calls we make. But it's a good job of knowing where you need to pick up the play. Yes, I'm rotating. Yes, I have a matchup down here. Not as active. The ball coming around to the top again is an area that I need to pay attention to, making sure that I'm watching the screener. In this state, either quarterfinal or semifinal, it's Spotswood versus Cave Spring. Larry is the center here, and you'll notice that he does a really good job of big picture officiating. He's got a lot going on here. He's got one match up here. He's got another match up here. He's helping on this screen here because Mike, while he can still get this because he's got a big picture officiating, it's a more of a passive matchup because we're going underneath the screen. But this player here, number 4, as he ends up coming over, he starts rolling and he gets in the way of number 2, preventing him from getting out to the shooter. Correctly, Larry ends up calling a foul. We also have this matchup here. So if we're the lead down here, we're hoping that Joel picks up that matchup here as opposed to this passive matchup, potential hold. But the illegal screen called here is the correct call. And again, the players never do anything wrong. but you can see that it was a very good job by Larry. Really good coverage, big picture officiating with multiple matchups, really important stuff. All right, this is another situation where, and we're going to point out something that the lead does incorrectly here, but the center, Mike, does a really good job of staying active with the play. The lead starts to rotate, but does not even really get into the lane area yet here. And you'll see that the defender ends up having really good defense, and the offensive player tries to drive through, pushing off through the torso, right arm extended. The lead is starting to come over and reacts by putting his hand up. Thankfully, he does not give a signal. Now, I believe they both had the same play on this, but this is the C's call all the way. Really, Joel should not be picking up this play until he gets over. He should still be with this matchup. Remember, as you rotate, you look over your shoulder to put yourself in a better place. So Mike, correctly so, stops the clock, player control foul, and we go. Same game, end of game situation. The center does a good job on the last second shot. I will point something out here as we come through this play. You'll notice, first of all, Joel and Trail does a good job of getting himself in an angle to be able to officiate the play. There's no matchups on him. Mike has a really good look looking through. It's an easy play to call because the ball bounces around a little bit. And as the ball goes in, time runs out. One thing that happens here that we can't do is when Joel is here, he gives the 3-point signal, okay? Now, the other thing that he does, and I'll rewind it here, he should not give the 3-point signal until he knows that Mike is counting it. That's number one. Because if Mike's wiping it off and he goes up with a touchdown, we're in bad shape. Now, this is a pretty easy play because the horn sounds as the ball is bouncing around the rim. Mike scores it, but you can see right here, Joel starts wiping it off, or at least it looks like he's wiping it off. And in later conversation, we found out that he was saying, "Oh, no, I was saying game's over." Because I went touchdown, and then I wiped it off. Well, by wiping it off, you really create confusion. And so we got to be careful of doing any kind of extra signals of saying, no, game's over. No, because then it can be interpreted, no basket. And, we could end up, being put in a pickle on this. So overall, it's a good job by the crew of coverage, but we just want to point out some things to make sure that we're not doing things that get us in the bowl suit. All right, in this play here, there's two different center situations on this play. First of all, Jerry in the center, and this is John Marshall versus Phoebus, state semifinal game. Great game, overtime. I had a front row seat right here for it, but Jerry does a good job of getting the rebounding foul right here that you'll see as the ball goes up. This player right here swings through the John Marshall player. Jerry has a great foul call. All right, we're going to put the ball in on the end line. So now he's going to transition because Dave's coming to this side of the free throw line to put the ball in play. He's now no longer the C. He's going to go all the way down to lead. Well, James does a really good job of realizing this and helps Jerry get down the court by picking up the subs as the new center. So he ends up stopping, sees where Jerry's going to put the ball in play, lets Jerry report, realizes there's subs, and starts going towards the table to receive the subs. This allows Jerry to continue moving on to his position, and James does a good job as a partner bringing the subs in to make sure that we don't have any issues. This play right here is a really good job by Dave in center. Now, we talk about free throw line to free throw line. All right, free throw line to free throw line, sideline to sideline in transition. Our center really has to have an aggressive viewpoint, even if there's a play over here, which there will be. Very important. That foul right here, Jerry might be able to get it. James is still in the backcourt. Dave is looking through. He has a good look at it. He's running with the pack, is able to come in and before the shot goes off, you can see him wiping off the shot and gets the foul correctly called. An excellent job by Dave in the center position being able to pick up this play. Another job, a great job by Jerry in the center in this play. This is really small stuff, but for you less experienced officials, if you haven't been around a long time, one of the things that can happen is after this made basket, you'll notice that there's a timeout called by the team that makes the basket. And what ends up happening is our trail official is paying attention. Does you want a 30-second or a full? One thing I would say is let the players cross before you end up reporting it or telling the other coach. We've got time. But unfortunately, we're not doing that in this situation here. But what I do see is Jerry getting over there right away to make sure that his blue crosses and white crosses, that there's no issues. I mean, this was a heavy, heated contest with a lot on stake. At stake with a state final berth. And you can see the players are crossing. Jerry is right here. All right, he's making sure that there's nothing happening. He's walking towards the players. He's saying things. All right, guys, good job, good job. It's really important to be able to have that. Okay. This play here, the center, again, very handsome center, does a great job on making sure that he picks up the defender. You notice how wide the lead is here. Perfectly fine with that considering where the ball is, but as the ball comes into here, the lead would have a very difficult time picking up the help defender. The center has this defender here. The lead has this defender here with this matchup. So as we run the play through, you'll notice that the center's player that comes over to take this player control foul is in much better view for the center than it is the lead. The lead would have to look through this matchup to find out if his feet were set. And did he take the contact in the torso? So this is really the center's play. I know a lot of times we say let the play come to the lead, but this is a play that the center really has to be aggressive and come out and take it, and we have a player control foul. All right, this play here is a really good job in rotation by the center. The lead, however, should be picking up this matchup. The lead will rotate over. He's in closed down position. He'll rotate over. There's a matchup down here that gets a little physical, okay? And what ends up happening is the C comes down. There's no matchups for Adam to have here. Okay, so he's going to come from trail to center. And as he rotates down, he can look through the play because there's, as you'll see, there's really nothing in front of him. He's got this matchup here, but it's not active. It's more of a passive matchup. But this is the matchup that he gets his eyes on. It's really the matchup that our lead should have his eyes on. And the center comes in and helps with the foul call right here, and rightly so. Good job of officiating by Adam. All right, this last play here. This is really a difficult play. This is from our summer training and evaluation program. We train our officials in the summertime, and we videotape every game. And one of the one of the things that you'll notice here is I've highlighted a player that I want you to pay attention to. Okay, because what's going to end up happening, there's going to be a pass coming here. We're going to get a screen. The passer A1 is going to pass to A2, then go set a screen on B1 over here. And what ends up happening is B1, or let's just call him B3 to be safe. B3 that's highlighted here is going to grab the hand of the cutter. Okay, and I'm going to run this through a couple of times. But you can see here comes the screen. He grabs the hand, as you can see right there. The ball's already in the air. The kid's got a wide open layup. Okay, our trail, stays with this play too long and might be able to pick this up if he gets over there. But our center, this is where the play left from. This is a really important play for our center to be able to get that hold before the ball has a chance to get caught. Because what ends up happening, it goes off of light blue's hands, and we give it back to purple. That is a very difficult play to officiate. But if you can put yourself in a better position, and you can anticipate that this screen is coming, and I'm going to pay attention to that screen, I'm going to pay attention to that hold. Really important for that center to be aggressive on that play. So hopefully the center positioning that we just went through will help you, and I wish you luck.